guys, and thanks for joining us on the Polish American Brotherhood. I am live with my father, Marian.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you again with my daughter, Tara.
Just zooming in a little bit for him. So, Dad, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I'm watching a lot about Trump's achievement, and this is my favorite subject to talk. What did he do for America? You know, especially about everybody talking about Greenland, everybody talking about Venezuela. I think everybody should know what he achieved in Greenland. And that is basically that he got a part of Greenland and access to full Greenland, all the minerals rights, and a lot of different things, especially the building the Golden Dome. You know, that's
Wait,
very.
what's the Golden Dome?
Golden Dome is basically military establishment protecting like rockets from coming from Russia. You know, exactly everybody can find out on their own what exactly is the Golden Dome because it's too short time to explain to you exactly, but that's a military base for Americans installing in Greenland. So the very good achievement from Mr. Trump because everybody thought maybe Mr. Trump, our president, gonna invade militarily the Greenland, but this is a big success for America and for Mr. Trump, for us, that we avoid any military problem with Denmark and Europe. You know.
How important is Greenland to the U.S.?
It is very important, especially that we know that not only mineral rights, what President Trump getting, you know, the rare materials, but also the position of Greenland is like good for protecting militarily from Russia and even China. You know, that they opening the road, closer road, going ships to around Russia and Canada, getting closer to Europe, you know, that's big, avoiding any problems going through the southern place.
All right, let's see. I pulled up a couple articles about Greenland, so let's see how the mainstream media tends to be covering Trump's accomplishments for Greenland. And then also a quick shout out to Devon and to Unapologetic American. Thanks for joining with us. All right, let's see. The first article I'm going to pull up is from The Guardian.
Yeah, looks like Devon is all the time with us.
Oh, if I could try to pull it up. Whoops, I can see you're not connected. One moment, guys. Or not. Let me switch it over to you while I fix this. You're on, Dad.
Okay. Well, one thing, you know, the global changing, Board of Peace coming to the world, you know, and everybody should know what's the Board of Peace, basically establishment on the Middle East, like help for the peace of the Israel. You know, there is always going to be problem between Palestinian, basically not Palestinian very nice people, but the Hamas create the problems for Israel, and I think the way President Trump tried to establish Board of Peace that will solve the problem for not only for the Palestinian but also for the Israel. You know, we found that a continued problem. You know, that will never end if Mr. Trump not going to achieve the goal to solve that problem in Palestine. Okay, so it will be good for Palestine and also Israel to solve that problem quickest as possible. So the thing it is that I also want to mention about what's going on in Poland. The problem in Poland it is that we have a bad prime minister. His name is a Tusk. You know, I don't know. They says in English is a dog. Maybe I don't know. I didn't check, but you know, he's the prime minister. Polish people don't like him, but somehow, I don't know, they got to the power, and he looks like he tried to get all the power in Poland, you know, because he's the prime minister of Poland, and Polish people don't like him. So hopefully we're gonna find out a way to remove him from the power and get a good prime minister, which he holding to everything that he would like to destroy Poland, you know, and Poland is a good a friend to America, and we had a best president in Poland. His name is Karol Nawrocki, and he's a good friend of Mr. Trump. That was also here in Davos when President Trump said a good words about Polish President Nawrocki. You know, so hopefully we're gonna achieve also the goal that Poland gonna turn to a more friendly, you know, economically, because what he does, the Prime Minister, he holding us from building the nuclear power plant, which we already, from previous government, we already signed that with Westinghouse, American company, and also with Korean company, and he finding all the way to postpone and postpone. The other thing, what Poland tried to build, biggest airport in Europe, and something he finds the problem that, you know, he tried to minimize and stuff like that, and the airport is very important, not only for Poland, but also from United States because of the problem with Russia. You know, so hopefully we're gonna achieve that. We're gonna remove that bad prime minister in Poland. We have to remove him legally, you know. So there's gonna be not that you know problem breaking the constitution or something like that. So it's very hard, you know, because of the constitution, and we have to follow the law. You know, so.
How does the rest of Poland, like when you talk to your Polish friends, how do they feel about the prime minister? Are they on the same page as you, or because as prime minister he was elected, right?
He was actually established by the. We have like a congress which we call Sejm, okay, and with the other party joining, they choose him to be prime minister. But even the other parties try to now avoid him, seeing how bad things he is doing to Poland. You know, so well.
How long is his term for?
His term is already past 2 years, so another 2 years. But hopefully, since he's a very bad prime minister, we might remove him very soon. You know,
They're going to impeach him?
we got if we're not gonna if Poland not gonna remove him, I'm gonna go myself and spank his butt. You know, so just joking. You know. But really, that's what I feel, you know, that he have to be removed, and jail, you know, especially that what he is doing to the Justice Department, it is breaking the law. He should be in jail. I mean,
Wait. I'm not familiar with what he's done. For our viewers, can you tell them about what he's done that has broken the law, in your opinion?
Well, he established in a Polish Justice Department guy, which he breaking a law. You know, there is a lot of explanation about it. I cannot tell you in a few words, but he tried to go after the good people, you know, sabotaging them, try to put them in jail. You know, one of the biggest thing was that he put one priest who tried to build some housing for the women, which was kind of had a bad relationship with the husbands or something like that, you know.
Like a domestic abuse shelter.
Yeah, something like that. Domestic abuse women, you know. So, well, in a words, I know he's a very bad guy, and myself, I'm really mad about that. We cannot find a way to remove him quickest as possible because even the economy growing big, okay, and he tried to take advantage of everything what is good and put that he is the one who make the achievement. But Polish people are very hardworking people, and that's what Polish people achieve. Now, to the point that Poland become 20 richest countries in the world, and even President Trump invite Polish president to G20, which is going to be in Miami. Okay, so we see what's exactly we can do about that bad Polish prime minister. You know, I hate him. I hate that guy. You know what he is doing to Poland. You know, is a terrible thing. So we have to find a way that legally can we remove him from the power. You know, I
Yeah, I
want to
hear
see
you.
what.
So William Joseph is talking about how crazy it is getting over here. I mean, have you been catching any of the footage of what's going on in Minnesota, in Minneapolis?
Yes, the thing it is they're showing a lot in the media. You know that lately we find out that Omar was removed from Congress. You know, he don't smile that much like before, and there is a lot of fraud. I think is now they telling us that is defraud the taxpayer like $13 billion. I don't know how much the truth it is, but that's what they estimate, and all the government, you know, like Governor Walz, have something to do with all those frauds, what's going on, you know, and I kind of don't understand who the protesters are coming from. You know, some of them they think they are sponsored by Democrats. Who pays them the money? I have no idea. They didn't say yet who paid those Protestants. But violent against the law enforcement is bad thing. You know, so we have to kind of respect the law enforcement, and whoever do the bad things, they have to know that they're not gonna win. You
What do
know.
you think about, because so with the protests getting even more heated, another shooting, and the man died. The police had shot him. The media is covering him as I believe he's an ER or an ICU nurse. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, well, the thing is, it doesn't matter who he is. They found that he had a gun, okay? And you coming to the protest with the gun is a bad thing, you know? And the protesters who try to fight the law enforcement, ICE, okay, and mostly are, I'm not saying that the protesters are all criminals, but whoever cover for them, they are the criminals, and they try to protect their own ass, you know, not to get prosecuted what they doing, you know. So they try to challenge the police or ICE from the thing they done previously, and like I says, the Governor Waltz, he has something on his, you know, something bad things about that he tried to protect the criminals, and mostly I don't know why the Democrats are so protective about the criminals, you know. The criminals probably themselves, you know. So
It was Alex Prudy, who is an ICU nurse. Thank you, Unapologetic American. So, as Dad had mentioned, he had a gun, and then like some of the reports that I had heard, and this week's been a little busy, so I hadn't followed it as closely. But I had heard that they tried to like remove the gun, and he, like the officers like walking away, and then Alex had gone for it, and then that triggered like one shot, and then so the question is whether or not it was a lawful, if it was a lawful killing.
Well, the thing it is that, if you approaching the ice and jeopardize their safety, of course you're going to end up really bad, Not the ice, okay? They have all the power to knock you down, to arrest you. And once it will go on your record, that record will stay for the rest of your life. Even later on, you're going to become a good person. The record will follow you. You might apply for a good job. They're going to check on your record and they see what you've done, okay? You might not get the job. And then you're going to be really mad. Why? I'm a good person now, but I cannot get a good job because what I done in past, so.
Mm-hmm. So, William Joseph, thanks for dropping into the chat. So, it's a good point. Just because it's legal to be having a gun, it's probably not the wisest thing to be bringing out to a protest. And then he also, wow, I didn't know that. So he was also working to help track ICE on the Signal chat. So he was still part of the group that was up to no good.
Well, one thing about the guns, I'm against having the guns. I'm from Poland. The private citizen not supposed to have a gun, okay? But since we have the gun for own protection in America, because it's a different life in America where all the even immigrants, legal immigrants or illegal immigrants coming, you don't know who they are. And you have the right to protect yourself, protect your family, protect your home. And having the gun, the law enforcement or policeman, he's not going to wait till you pull the gun. Once he sees that you're making the wrong move, you don't obey the legal law, then you might be in a big trouble. They might shoot you, because policeman is a human. He can be destroyed too, And when they see that you're making a wrong movement, he doesn't know that you're picking up the phone or you're picking up the gun, Wrong move can cost your life. So be careful, okay?
Yeah, it's not wise to be bringing a gun to a protest at all.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. You have a gun in a protest, approaching the law enforcement.
Especially with the increase in violence that the ICE officers have faced. They're being doxxed. They themselves are being threatened with bounties on their heads. Their families are being threatened. And so it's just a really heightened state of that's on the protest floor. I wish I was there covering it though.
Well, one thing I have to tell you that it's not only gun, but even if you use your car as a weapon, we had the example what happened in Minnesota that the woman was shot, okay? She was using the car as a weapon and end up with her life. If she would know what really she's doing, that end up for her death, she probably never would done this. But she was enough stupid, to use the car as a weapon, and that's what end up, I feel sorry for the woman. But, she make a wrong move, she make the wrong judgment, and she end up dead. Young woman with children. Feel sorry for her. But whoever is alive, don't do those things, okay?
Well, I mean, even her, like, they were calling her wife, but I don't think they were legally married either. And even with the children, I had heard that they were taken away from her because of domestic abuse issues that were going on in the household. she used the vehicle to hit the officer and the ICE officer, and that's what happens.
Well, one thing, if you make a mistake like that, I'm sure you already make a lot of mistake previously. Okay, so she was already disturbed and end up paying the price. I believe in karma. Okay, and I have to mention you about the karma. Putin was so sure about what he is doing, killing the Polish president, invading the Crimea, invading the Ukraine, okay, and eventually the karma getting him. He doesn't value about somebody's life because millions of Russian being killed, not only Ukrainian, but also his own people getting killed, and eventually Russia will be destroyed. He's supposed to take care of the Russian with the Russian border, okay? Make sure that the Russian have a good life. But now he's so greedy that he getting involved with murders, he killing own people. I don't know. For me, he's I can call him even devil. No brain. Okay, I don't know how he keeps the power for so many years. He's smart enough to. The devils are also smart too. So. But always, eventually, they pay the price because karma getting them. So.
Yep. What goes around comes around. Mr. X was saying that Poland is very beautiful. Can you talk about the beauty of Poland, Dad? Especially the women. I mean, I'm a Polish
Well, one
girl.
thing I have to tell you that we have 1,000 history, and there was a lot of things going during that time because we've been before the two superpowers. As you know, in 15th century, the Russia became very strong, but also I want to mention to you that only one country who been in charge of Russia was Poland. Only for 2 years, but still, they conquered the Russians. But also we have Germany on the other side, and of course German try to take advantage of Poland, especially the amount of people which been spreading to Polish land, and once the people went either to Polish land or the other land, they try to claim. Like even Russia, the Russians spreads all over to Ukraine or Georgia or another country, and now they try to claim the countries, which is not theirs, I mean, we see what's going to happen in Ukraine because Ukraine are getting more strong and eventually going to destroy Russia. And Russia also gonna destroy within itself, because there's not only Russian living there, there is a different nation also in Russia. One thing about Poland, okay, we have a beautiful history, and we used to be very strong country, but eventually when those two superpowers got on it, and also not only Germany and Russian, but also Austrian got together and destroyed Poland. So Poland was gone for 120 years.
But literally wiped off the map.
Yeah,
they were off
wiped
the map
for 123 years. Poland was not existing. But the thing eventually in 1920 Poland got again freedom from those countries. But the thing what everybody been doing, because we have such a beautiful land, they built a lot of castle, palaces, and that's what is the beauty of Poland. We have very nice country. And since we suffer so much from the superpowers, Poland become very, very safe now, We obey the law in Poland, and it's the most safest country, So anybody who goes to want to go visit Poland, of course, number one is probably Warsaw and Krakow, which Krakow was also the capital of Poland. I would say for 4th century, But every city have some kind of unique beauty, you know. And Polish people are so polite. We have a lot of beautiful women also, you know, which everybody, you know, when they're going to Poland, they see the beauty of the Polish women.
Yeah, I'm just checking out. My iPad's not working, so I won't be able to share the screen. But so I asked Google AI, why is Poland considered one of the safest European countries? It's due to its low crime rate, violent crime rate, a homogeneous society. So that's because of strict immigration policies and a high police visibility. So a strong, stable economy, low unemployment, a strict criminal code contribute to this safe public space. There are also no major terrorism threats in Poland. So, what do you think are some of the policies that Poland has in place that has led to Poland being so safe?
Well, everything is depends on your characters of people. You know, if you go even to the Japan, you know, the people are very polite. Polish people are very polite, and they are very very safe if comes because we don't have the guns over there in Poland. You know, so that you go on a street. Even midnight, dark, you know, you don't have to worry that somebody gonna knock you, mug you down, you know, that you're gonna lose your life, you know. So we don't have that many criminals like we have in United States.
Well, since the
We
economy is also like doing so well and has a low unemployment rate, that people aren't resorting to these types of crimes such as theft and mugging in contribution to also that since there are no guns, that means the good guys can't have guns, but that means the bad guys don't have guns either. So you have less of a threat of violent crimes happening. So it includes the lowest levels in Europe for homicide, vandalism, and arson. Ooh, I have a question for you. So, like, Poland has very strict immigration laws. It has a very homogenous society. So most people are like ethnically Polish. I'm still ethnically Polish, even though I am brown, but but I'm ethnically Polish as well. So with the cultural home, with everyone having the same like culture and the immigration policies, do you think this contributes to how people are able to get along? Do you think like here in America, like when the Democrats say like diversity is our strength, diversity is very beautiful. I'm not saying that it's not, but when you have so many different cultures that are sharing the same space and also cultures that tend to stick together and don't let other people in, they're not really assimilating into the American people way of life and integrating. Like, do you think this causes problems?
Well, one thing you have to know that since before, during the communists, we've been very poor, okay? So people been helping each other, you know, kind of stick together. Polish people are know when there is a problem, they stick together against the enemy. But now, in this time, Polish is very vital for the Western countries, even United States, because of the Russia try to expand themselves and the problem in Ukraine. That's why there is a lot of investment from the Western country in Poland, and now United States also wants to invest a lot of money in Poland. So that's why Poland is getting very rich now. You know, eventually we're saying that in a couple of years we're going to be better than Britain, you know.
What do you think is the interest that America has in Poland in making these kind of investments? And what type of investments are they making into Poland?
Well, the biggest investment would be now to building the nuclear power plant, which we already, like I mentioned, we signed already with one by Westinghouse, okay? And if you go to, let's say, to the biggest city, you see the ground high sky rises, which mostly is built by the Americans business people, you know. So the thing it is, the since we are located in center of Poland, okay, all what we need is the airport, which already was already planned, you know, building between Warsaw and other cities, Łódź, you know, which supposed to be the biggest airport in Europe. And the thing it is that is a good location against to protect Western Europe from Russia, from right now from Putin, okay? Because I'm not against the Russian people. No, I think Russian people are beautiful. They just have the wrong government, and they should, you know, consider to remove that devil from power, you know, which holds the power already for, I don't probably think about more than 20 years or something like that, you know. So they shouldn't allow to him like that, you know. And eventually, the Russian will understand that for their benefits, it is to remove the Putin and make a peace with Ukraine, because Ukraine are getting stronger and stronger. Specifically, that they're getting a lot of help, not only from Poland, because if you know, we originally, when the Putin started war on the Ukraine, 6 million Ukrainian people came to Poland, and Poland welcomed them. Okay, so now they estimate that some of them they either moved to another countries or went back to Ukraine. So we actually have a way to predict that Russia gonna be the loser. You know, so.
Absolutely. So when you look at Poland in a map, its location in Central Europe, it doesn't have many natural defenses, right? There's no natural border like mountains or a river or seas that block its borders. It's pretty like open, which has historically led it to be very susceptible to invasions. And so like one of the things with Poland is, so it's a NATO member and it has a high defense spending. Given its history, it wants to protect itself when you got friends like the Germans and the Russians all over the place. So the nation's considered very politically stable because it does spend a lot on its own national defense.
Well, right now Poland is the biggest spending on the military. They spend 5% of the GP. What do you call GP?
GDP, yep.
GDP, okay. Now, German, which have a still strongest economy, they even try to contribute 1%, you know. Now, when President Trump says, hey, take care of your defense yourself, so the Germans start spending more money, and the other countries also adding, but mostly they try to put 2%, 3%, you know, so not like Poland. That's why Trump embraced Poland for spending 5% to protect them, you know. And eventually he likes the idea about 3Cs, and they keep talking more and more about the 3Cs. So eventually when President Trump gonna have more time, you know, to look towards Poland, we're going to achieve whatever it is in the Polish and United States benefits. Yeah. So, you know, I have to tell you that I love this guy. You know, I give him a kiss. He's my man.
Also with the so the culture of law enforcement and justice system. So Polish police are very proactive and the criminal code is very strict. So this results in higher incarceration rates than in some Western European nations. I know that when Dad and I were in Poland and we were covering one of the protests, I think it was on the Women's Day protest that we were there for.
But I have so many protests that I cannot keep track, you know.
But I do actually remember, like, with the amount of protesters and everything, there was a significant presence of police compared to the protesters. So I thought that was quite disproportionate,
It
but at
was
the
very
same time,
unique about having so much policemen, But nobody bothered the police. The protest was very peaceful. So,
But didn't you get like we got separated? I was live streaming, so um, I think you ended up on like the opposite of the lines than I did, and then you showed your American passport, and they're like, "Oh well," and they just like let you go or something.
no, that was because my mask, that was during the COVID, when everybody had to cover the mouth, and my mask went down from the nose, under the nose. So the police stopped me, and they asked me for the to ID myself. So I put the American passport. They look at the passport. I said, "Oh, American, American." I said, "No, I'm Polak." So this is okay. But they make a barrier that when my daughter separate from me, I couldn't get through. So I had to go around, to find her. But that was funny, that an open field, I'm was wondering if I would be in a store or in closed building, that would be fine. But on a fresh air, because my mask went down, they bothered me a little bit. But they've been very nice, polite. I cannot say. But there was 1,000 police. I would estimate that maybe it was 200, 300 protesters
Yeah,
and maybe 3,000 policemen.
yeah. I was like,
Everywhere.
is are we at the opposite protest that the police are the ones who are protesting because the sheer amount of police that were present at this protest was pretty insane. But I think so. Like as Google says, there's a high police presence, and the police are very proactive. This also like helps to negate the people from committing crimes.
Yeah, one thing, somebody asking what we think about border patrol. Well, we support that. We have to kind of protect the border from people coming in without identifying themselves. We don't know who they are. We cannot just allow, especially those drug dealers, they can come to the border whenever they want, bringing the poison to Americans, and we have to support the law enforcement, border patrol, and I think the administration of President Trump doing the good job, you know. So we just have to just show the support for them. We cannot just keep a mouth shut and do nothing while some Democrats try to make a problem with sending all these Protestants who making not Protestant protesters who making the problem for the law enforcement. I mean, do we want people like Somalis coming to our country, and making all the frauds, defrauding the taxpayers, which from the money which supposed to be for the children, for the people handicapped or whatever, to I don't know, but I don't see that many people to raise the voice. We, in the heart, we are with President Trump, but we also have to be open our mouth. Okay, it's free of speech, and we cannot let the bad people to raise the protest while we keep the mouth shut. We have to say something too.
So, Dad, what's been going on is that the Bovino is one of the top U.S. immigration officials. So, after the Preddy shooting, he's now expected to be leaving the city of Minneapolis, and the border czar Tom Homan is going to begin leading the on the ground efforts in Minneapolis because of the fatal shooting that happened of Alex Preddy. And so the controversy here is like whether or not the White House is now kind of backtracking on it, on how aggressive its ICE presence and forces are in the city of Minneapolis. So to answer your question about that, I mean, we're gonna see. Like I do like Tom Homan. I think he's done a great job as the border czar. Walking back the aggressive tactics to it, I mean, the police are also, they need to be able to de-escalate situations. And sometimes like when the protesters are kind of just left on their own without having a police presence to fight against, that can be effective with de-escalating, because like the protesters are there to basically fight. And if there's not going to be a presence to fight, then the protesters aren't really going to be able to, they don't have an enemy to go up against. However, like we do support like what ICE is doing, what they're trying to be detaining and deporting illegal migrants that are in Minneapolis, and that is one of the main areas that we have a lot of illegal immigrants, as well as like a lot of other cities here in the U.S. But walking back the police presence, I feel like some Democrats or liberals are going to feel like, oh, we won. So it might de-escalate the situation, but at the same time, like what kind of message is that also going to be seen? But then is it like coming down to a like pissy face battle of ego? Whether or not like, oh, it's seen as like the protesters can bully around like the police. But the ICE and police forces still need to be able to do their jobs. And so the protesters and the citizens can't necessarily feel as if they're winning. If they outnumber them, then ICE is going to go away. Because like ICE isn't going to go away. They're doing their job. They're doing what's necessary to protect American citizens and also, detain and deport illegals. So whether or not that's a good strategy, there's pros and cons on both sides of it.
Well, one thing, I believe that we have the right to protest, okay? But if you're going on a protest and you try to fight the law enforcement, there will be always a problem, okay? And there will always going to be some bullies, which maybe are paid by the Democrats to go over there and stir the problems, and if you think you're going for the peaceful protest, you may also be involved. And if something happen over there, believe me, some kind of things might happen bad to you, So it's better for you to avoid going to those kinds of protests where the problems can start, okay? For your safety, especially when you have children who you're supposed to take care of it. Like that woman which was shot, okay, she had a children. She never supposed to be over there on that protest, especially using the car as a weapon against the law enforcement.
Exactly. So what we might be seeing is a shift in strategy. I mean, long-term goal of deporting those who are present in our country illegally, that's still going to, of course, be the paramount idea and goal for protecting the U.S. So if the White House is deciding to walk back its aggressive forces and change strategy, like there's going to be pros and cons to it. Like I said, the troublemakers and the whether Democrats or liberals are going to feel like, oh, we're winning by like bullying them out. Like they might think that, but it might not be such a bad strategy to pull back, other than like maybe the ego aspect of it, for the appearance of like, oh, we're from the Antifa perspective of we can win if we just do this type of like bad type of protesting.
Well, just you think if we have the law enforcement like ICE, Border Patrol, okay, and we cannot do anything about the criminals coming to this country who try to defraud the taxpayer from the money, selling the drugs to the American citizen, can you imagine what can happen to America? That would be Americans, all Americans. Can you imagine your children can get the drugs on the street and you don't know that getting crazy from the drugs. I cannot imagine how parent can be just letting the bad people, the criminals running at the street and do the uh, bad things to the American citizen by removing all the criminals. Whoever have a criminal record have to be out of this country. And if you're coming to this country, okay, even as a legal immigrant, even if you receive the green card and you gonna do some bad things, like President Trump said, even driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, you can be deported from America. And I think that's a good thing. So better watch out. If you're coming to this country, do something good for this country. Don't look on bad people that they can run our country so easily by making easy money selling the drugs.
Right. The so unapologetic Americans pointing out how Fox News had reported that the Trump's administration wins court victory freeing ICE agents from Minnesota protest restrictions. I have to see what restrictions that they were like lifted off on. I know like some of the judges or courts are ruling that they couldn't use like tear gas or something like for crowd disbursements, and probably like what is considered an appropriate amount of force towards the officers. Sorry, Kodak Patriotic Barky is on the couch making a lot of noise right now. Kodak, behave.
I have to show you my beautiful dog. Okay?
It's okay, Dad. But let's see. Yeah, so oh hey Snugs. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so we got Patriotic Barky over here. We nabbed him so that way he's not running around the studio.
Okay, say something, Kodak, to our viewers, okay? See how beautiful he is?
He's
He
very
likes you
ugly
too,
cute.
guys, okay? He making a little bit noise. I babysit him today because my son Mark went to
SeaWorld.
or something like that, yeah. So if he making a little bit noise, you know where it's coming from, okay? I let him go because he's a little bit heavy for me.
We call him
You know.
Patriotic Barky. So yeah, that's Patriotic Barky for you. So he's like kind of going back and forth in the studio, looking at the door, wondering when Mark is going to be coming home. But yeah, chill out, Kodak.
So also I want to mention to you, because we've been a little bit time with you, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to speak up my mind, okay? And I try to play a little bit like an advisor for President Trump about Mariana Project, okay? Mariana Project should start from building the retiree project in Greenland. So this way, you know, it would be a special project. You know, if we can build, like Elon Musk try to build a base on a Mars, we can build a Mariana Project more easier on Greenland, which would support like maybe 20,000 or 40,000 American retirees in Greenland. And we can create like a good environment, you know. Greenland is cold, but we can make it warm in our project. So that would be a good thing, you know. I got a lot of ideas how to help only not retirees, but also the veterans, also the refugees and homeless people. But the problem it is if the politician would listen to me, you know. So I will be mentioning all the time about my idea. I wish that happened now. Still I'm alive, because as you know I'm 77. I don't know how long I'm gonna be with you guys, you know. My time is already short probably. So
But if
I
you
would like
if
to
you
do
work
something.
out, if you work out and have a healthy lifestyle, you're going to be extending your life. Dad's actually joining me tomorrow at my gym over at base camp, and we are going to be doing a full body exercise. It's actually my 250th class, so it's a little celebration. So Dad's actually going to be joining in on that, right, Dad? You're going to get your muscle on.
That's what I try to do, try to extending my life by eating healthy and go to gym. Not only because I want to still help my children. As you know, my wife passed away last year. And also maybe I can see my project for solving the retirees and homeless people would make sense for Americans. And first, my project I would see in Greenland, So then the next project may be in Baja California. I have a great project for Baja California for the retirees and also for homeless people, so
Plus,
hopefully we can
also,
achieve, yeah.
so I'm actually having a little bit of a career switch. So I am preparing right now for the law school admissions test. I'm going to be taking it in April. So future lawyer over here. It's going to, of course, be a couple of years till that happens. Law school is quite a couple-year process and everything. So that's something that I'm personally up to as well. And so Dad's excited about having his daughter as a future attorney, right, Dad?
Yep. Okay.
But I told him that,
Looking forward for it.
I told him, I was like, Dad, I think I want to go to law school now. I mean, it was a dream ambition of mine when I was younger. And Dad had said, like, you're still young. So actually, according to my bio age, by my health scans, it says I have aged down. So ever since I've been working on my fitness, I have been on a downward track with my age. And yesterday I clocked in at age 33. So that's awesome. It's 6 years younger than I actually am. So that's the importance of having a healthy and fit lifestyle. Dad's 77. He's going to the gym with me tomorrow. And I'm all about like gym and fitness right now.
One thing to stay healthy, even I didn't care for my diet when I was younger, okay? And at old age now, I making sure that whatever is healthy, putting in my stomach, okay? But the thing it is that we have to take care of ourselves, The life is so short, and the reason to stay, healthy, it is to occupy your mind. You have to have some kind of idea what to do with your life that would benefit not only yourself, but benefit the others. So hopefully, we can make the America great like Mr. Trump thinks good for America, and we have to kind of appreciate what he is doing. He achieved more than any other president within 4 years or 8 years. So he's the best president, and he's gonna come to the history as the best president in the world and America. He's a good for American people, and we have to appreciate him, okay? So,
I mean, that man is nonstop, just like father and daughter team, Tara and Marian.
Right.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this live stream. I do got a yoga class I'm going to run to, and then a run club, because I am preparing for another 5K this weekend, which will be my 5th 5K in 5 months. I've had a goal of mine to be running a 5K every month, and so this is my 5th month streak. I found a cute little Cupid run that I'm going to do for next month as well. And all of the 5Ks that I've been running have been supporting cancer organizations. So it's a way of like honoring my mother and those who are also currently fighting against cancer and their families who are there supporting them.
Yeah, Snooki says that I'm gonna make a good attorney, beautiful attorney. So I give her all the support I can, So I keep my beliefs in her, and we keep going to be in touch with you. And I wish you guys good healthy life, because the life is so short. So take care of yourself, and with a good thinking about everybody, we have to make sure that especially American citizen, gonna have a better life during the Trump administration.
Exactly.
So thank you
we
very
all
much.
have to do our part to make America great again. All right. Be sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys, for joining in on today's live stream. We'll see you next time.